Hello, Internet, and welcome to our second episode of All Myths Are True, our new fun Monster of the Week game. I'm Savannah. This is my wonderful cast of friends, and we're gonna play some games and have some fun. And I'm very excited to be here. Before we do that, I'm sure there are announcements that I should do, including the next game that we're gonna play, which is definitely on Saturday, I think. I don't know when anything happens. Saturday at 5:00 this week.
Yes.
5:00 p.m. You can join us for some Dungeons and Dragons. We return to Sarthia on Saturday nights, which will actually be on a Saturday night this week. So 5:00 Eastern time this week. We will be doing that. On Sunday, I'll be running another session of Apocalypse When, which is my Apocalypse World game that runs on twitch.tv/encounterroleplay. So if you like hearing me talk, come watch that. And then on Monday, that's this Monday, right?
Yes.
We are starting our first session of Motley Mondays, and Morgan is going to run us through a dungeon, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Those are the things that are happening on this channel right now. Is there anything else that I should announce? Anybody have anything they want to say? Okay, great. Well, those are my announcements. So welcome everybody who has joined us. This is All Myths Are True. We're playing Monster of the Week, which is a fun Powered by the Apocalypse style game, a ripoff of Apocalypse World. There is a certain type of game that I like, as you can tell, but I don't really have anything else to say, so we'll just get right into it. So last time on All Myths Are True, most of our team of coursers who work for Aegis, hunting monsters, saving things, the Aegis business. I don't know. I haven't been able to make that joke work, but I'm gonna get it. I haven't been able to make it work yet, but it's a coming. Traveled not very far from their home office to the nearby town of, I forgot what I named it.
Bergville.
I was gonna say Townburg. The nearby town of Bergville, to help out the local authorities with a strange case. Everyone is acting strange. Lots of nightmare problems. Solve some mysteries. Fought a monster. Almost died a little bit, but successfully defeated that particular monster and made it back to headquarters alive, if a little frightened and worse for wear. So we're going to pick up a few days after this has happened, returning to Aegis, waiting on your next assignment. Lefla taking a few days off to get themselves back up to snuff and healed and a-okay. So in Monster of the Week Between Mysteries, if the hunters have time to rest, they just heal and they're fine, which I love because it means I don't have to worry about it. So if you had any harm on your sheet, which at least 2 of you did, you can take all of those away. I don't think there's anything else pre-session that I have to do. Does anyone have any moves that they have to do at the very beginning of a session before anything happens?
Not I.
Does that mean, well, I've got at the beginning of each mystery. Does that mean
Okay.
session?
We'll wait on that.
Okay.
Until after you all receive your next orders. Okay, so a few days after your encounter with the hags of Bergville, you are all reconvening. Bringing up my notes. You're all reconvening. Once again, much like before, receiving an email through, or whatever it is you want to call it. It's formatted like an email, through official Aegis communications networks, that you have a briefing this morning, this time addressed to 4 of you. So you make your way, I assume, towards the briefing room, unless there is anything you all want to accomplish or talk about or discuss before this meeting happens, the 3 of you that were on the last case.
Was I able to turn in my secret mission without it was set in a satisfactory way?
I forgot what it was. Hold on.
I can pull it up for you if you...
I got it. It's good. Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, you essentially did what they told you to do, which was to bring back any kind of samples. Obviously, a live capture, not exactly possible in that one, but you were able to bring back samples, as well as a couple of pieces of evidence from the scene of that. So, yeah. Do you get something, or just a sense of satisfaction that you
Just
did
a sense. I don't need anything. It's my job.
Okay. Well, you continue to get your paycheck and you don't get fired.
That's all I need. Just
But
like
yeah,
real life.
yeah, you're able to bring back the things that you bagged up. So the samples from the body, the music box that you took off of that dresser, some odds and ends and things like that, and probably some notes on the circle and the sigil that were in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done what I do every time I finish a mission, which is sit down and spend probably about 2 or 3 hours after getting back in the evening, probably between the hours of like 4 to 7, and at the office, and writing up a full detailed report of what happened, and then submitting that.
Very nice. Well, you did a great job. It's a good... Do you have to roll for a report?
No.
Okay, you have accomplished that. Lefla has been recovering. Anything else that any of you had going on? Anybody have a fun week, fun office story? All right. So the 3 of you that were on our last mission, Lefla and Periwinkle and Agent Smith, sort of filter in, seeing each other coming around one corner and heading towards the briefing room. I assume getting your coffee that Periwinkle has probably brought you, saying your hellos. We hear a loud sound coming from the other end of the hallway. And I think you all turn to see a fairly familiar face rushing towards you very frantically in the form of Theodosius.
So Theodosius runs over, carrying way too many papers, probably some like legal pads, maybe some vials, and just running, probably like scattering a couple pages behind them, like trying to hold on to him. He runs up, and okay, for the audience, what you see is a tall, gangly elf with like these long, thin, pointed ears, very angular face, very fair-skinned, like not in the they were fair-skinned, like handsome way, but in the, like, if he thinks about the sun, he'll probably get sunburned kind of a way. He apparently has naturally dark hair, which you can see on the sides because he keeps it short on the sides, and then has it bleached basically platinum blonde on top. So it's like longer on top, shorter on the sides, kind of tries to do a little stylish swoop thing, but like everything else about him, like it would probably be good looking if it weren't so Theo, meaning very messed up and like just nervous. Like he was wearing a nice like dress vest and tie, like dress shirt, but it's like rumpled, like he put it together and like tried to like have it pressed, but then he like too soon got like really anxious about something, or like crushed a bunch of papers to his chest and then it got super wrinkled. His sleeves are buttoned down to the wrist. He looks like very much like he tried to look put together, but failed. That's Theo. He wears glasses, that are like a nice hip, bright color, like, I don't know, like a fuchsia purple. And he has like sort of grayish pink eyes, like kind of like an albino animal's sort of like color eyes, like they don't have any pigment, that kind of a color. That's what Theodosius looks like. Now he runs up and I came as fast as I could. Those blood samples, you said? One of the first one was it was a person. There was like a abnormally high like white blood cell count, kind of like he was fighting something. But the second one, it's just so you know, it's a hag, and based on the necrosis factor, it might be a night hag. So you guys should probably be careful. What I know about night hags, they're very strong magic.
Theo, we've already dealt with the problem.
Oh.
You're about 4 days late on that one.
So punctual's not going to be one of my strengths in my annual review.
This is going to go in your review this month. Let's get inside.
Okay. Scans badge. Walks.
Is Lefla there too? I assume. Are we all in the hallway right now?
Yeah.
I think Lefla is probably back down the hallway using just tendrils to pick up the scattered papers.
As you're entering the room, I sort of stop you for a second. I say, "Are you cleared by medical to be here right now?"
Oui. Took just, few days in the nutrient-rich soil, few days in the magic bath. You know how it goes. Standard procedure for healing a seedling.
I kind of like flip through my PDF or my little like tablet. Say I didn't get the report. I'll check in on that later. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Don't know what to do with these now. I'm just gonna put them here.
So you enter the briefing room, and Theo sets a large crumpled stack of papers on the pristine briefing table. You all sit, and much like before, it's like anytime you've done this before, the lights dim and a large projection screen lights up on the wall, and the music begins, and you watch Agent Smith's favorite movie, which is the Aegis Courser introduction video, which you're forced to watch at the beginning of every briefing that you have. It's protocol. And after this video is complete, you all receive a briefing, which is not that one, because that's the one from last time. Wouldn't that be funny? It was all a dream.
Do it again.
It hasn't happened yet. All right. So you receive a new set, an exciting set of orders. You are made aware that a large city on the Orcish homeworld called Lunaterra has suddenly gone silent. There's no communication out of the city for 72 hours. And it seems the city might be in some kind of lockdown. You are to travel to the city, scout out the situation, and report back. As always, if it is something monstrous, Aegis will advise on intervention, and there is a note at the bottom in italics. Under no circumstances are you to take rewards or gifts from any of the city's Orcish inhabitants or leave any Aegis technology behind with them. And this is in italics and underlined. Very important. And Agent Smith receives on your own communication device. I'll think of something. It's just a phone for right now, I guess. Receives a second set of orders from your unit, reading only, it's imperative the power structure of the city remains intact. If something monstrous is responsible for the sudden silence, make absolutely sure there are survivors that can rebuild the hierarchy. It is up to you whether or not you share this information, as always.
I was taking notes. No, I don't share it. That would be
Of course you don't.
ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous.
All right.
Can I get Lunaterra? Is that what you said?
I did.
Okay, just making sure I got that right.
Okay, and put it in.
Like Moon Earth.
Sort of.
Okay, just make sure I'm getting a spelling of that right.
I put it in the chat.
Ah, there we go.
All right. So that's the name of the city. Don't ask me what the name of the Orcish homeworld is.
That's fine.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the name of the Orcish homeworld?
That's classified.
Okay.
If you go to look at it in your little communication devices, pops up with a error message that you're not cleared for that information.
That's-
Orcs are us.
I don't know.
You guys know I don't name things. This
Uh,
is the only thing I named.
one of the italicized things, did it specifically say no rewards or gifts from the city's Orcish inhabitants or just from the city's inhabitants?
It said, under no circumstances are you to take rewards or gifts from any of the city's Orcish inhabitants or leave any Aegis technology behind with them. The assumption being it's only orcs that live there, but you'll see.
So, scout, report back, await further orders.
Mhm.
Sort of what I got. Cool.
Yes, so we have no communication out of the city for 72 hours, which Smith especially would know that is essentially protocol. Much like how a person has to be missing for a certain amount of time before anyone can intervene, which I think is a real rule.
A planet has to be
But I
missing for
don't know.
72 hours.
So the city is quiet.
It's a city.
There is usually some communication out of the city of Lunaterra, but it has been dark. Nothing coming out for 72 hours. So that's your kind of protocol.
Cool.
You'd know that.
Well, this sounds easy enough.
I was going to say it sounded interesting. In a bad way.
Huh.
I mean, a good way, in that we have something to do, but like in a bad way, in that people are probably dead.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, but 72 hours is a long time.
Might just be a power outage or something. This sort of thing happens more often than you'd expect.
Citywide? For 3 days?
Once had a whole moon go missing for 3 weeks and didn't realize they had the phone off the hook.
They had one phone on the entire moon?
Yep. Strangest thing.
That is really strange.
I mean, there's a lot of different worlds out there.
But for a large city on the homeworld of one of the major species, this is worrying news.
Well, only one way to find out. Suit up. Leave here in 30.
All right.
I'm just gonna clean this up really quick.
So with your time limit set by Agent Smith, you have 30 minutes to prepare. Is there anything you all would like to prepare or any moves that you can do now that we are at the beginning of a mystery?
I would just like to say before anything interesting happens that Theo cleans up his papers
my
and
briefing
stuff
wasn't
mess.
interesting.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I meant like what the other players do that's gonna be more interesting than this. Theo just cleans up
Is
his
it?
mess
We'll
and
see.
then goes and stands like at the waiting spot like immediately and like waits for 25 minutes.
Just standing
like-
there.
I'm just gonna prove to Agent Smith that I can be punctual, like super punctual. And that's what he's gonna
Punctual.
just gonna stand there and just like, hi. To anybody who comes by.
Okay, so Theo spends 25 minutes awkwardly waving at coworkers.
Sounds right.
The rest of you?
Let's see. Periwinkle's gonna make sure she has enough crystals for doing magic on this trip. And while she's sort of packing them away, gonna use the move Destiny's Plaything. At the beginning of each mystery, roll weird to see what is revealed about your immediate future.
Right.
And that is let's see, weird is +2. So that is a 7. So on a 7 to 9, you get a vague hint about it.
Okay.
Hint. A vague hit or hint? I don't know.
Get a vague hit. Someone walks by and knocks into your shoulder vaguely. Okay, about your immediate future? Let's see. What did I do last time? Oh, I think Periwinkle, while you're standing there, kind of putting away or packing up your crystals and things like that. There is a window in this building somewhere, I assume. Yeah, it's my building. There could be as many windows as I want.
It's all windows.
There's in this room, there's sort of a window on the wall where the morning sun is starting to come in, and as you're packing your crystals away, the light coming through the window kind of glints off of one of them, but it's much darker than it should be, and rather than sunlight coming through the window for just a minute out of the corner of your eye, it's a little bit more blue, like moonlight. And then you look up and everything's normal.
All right. And just gonna take her crystals and go meet up with Theo at the, I guess, the hangar where the van is kept. 'Cause we'll probably need the van for this mission.
I have not been standing here this whole time.
Of course you
I have.
Oh,
I have.
okay.
My feet actually really hurt.
You could sit down. There's a couple chairs back there.
Nope. It's all about appearances.
Trying to be on time this time?
Crushing it.
That's good. It's good to know where to improve.
I think after kitting up and getting their weapons and extra magazines and stuff, Smith comes walking past and stops for a second and looks over. Periwinkle gives Periwinkle a nod and looks at Theo and says, "Didn't have anything more productive you could do with the 30 minutes you had?"
I haven't been standing here the whole time. I just got here.
Right.
See, I have reaches in pocket. I don't have anything, actually. I'm gonna go grab my ID really quick. I'll be right back.
Do that. You've got 3 minutes.
I'm
Basically,
clocking it.
as soon as Theo leaves, Lefla brings the mom van in.
Aw, timing. Oh, Jeffy, you don't have to be so mean to Theo.
How else are they going to improve?
I mean, yeah. But you can also be nice about it.
That was nice.
Come to think about it, you're right. That was nice for you.
See, I thought so.
Well, keep it up then.
Look to the van and open up the door and say, "After you."
Thank you.
All right.
Got it. 2 minutes 45.
My clock says you're 5 seconds late.
I brought gum.
Get in the van.
Do you want any gum?
No.
Okay, I'm getting in the van.
All right. So everyone piles into the mom van. Any final preparations anyone would like to make before you make your first jump through a rift?
No, but I just want to know how this jump with the van looks like.
Well, it's gonna depend.
Magic school bus, please.
So, there is a little bit of science and a lot of bit of magic involved in being able to manipulate these rifts in a way that you can travel mostly safely. they assure you it's perfectly safe to do so, to be able to control where you're going and where you're going to land. So I'm assuming Lefla is at least driving the van because it's your van. But somebody is going to have to navigate through the rifts.
I will. Also, I want everyone to know that every single time that they do this, Theodos just does that thing that like Bones does in Star Trek, where he's like talking about how dangerous space is, and everyone's like, "It's perfectly safe. Space travel's totally fine." And Theo's like, "Actually, there are like a million ways that this can kill you."
I like it.
So while navigating, we'll like pause and be like, "So when you pass through this like certain portal, blah blah blah, it could vaporize your insides." That sort of thing.
You're allowing Theo to try to navigate you safely towards this other world that exists through a rift in time and space.
Huh?
I have no idea what kind of role this is, so sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Then Theo.
I'm really hoping it's sharp.
It's weird.
Oh, good. Even
Oh.
better.
So I'm gonna have you roll
I was
weird.
thinking it was weird too.
Whew, here we go. My
Come on,
first
weird boy.
roll. I'm very weird. That's a 9.
Okay, that's good. Mostly good.
Thank you. Could have been better, but you know.
Concentrating and then occasionally acting as your science tour guide through space and time. Theo navigating and Lefla sort of keeping control of the van as you take it, through an unstable rift in time and space. You manage with some turbulence and some jostling, but everyone unscathed and the van unscathed, to make it through. So as you sort of manipulate this van into the rift, and there's lots of the flashing lights and sounds and spacey things that happen. I'll have a description for this.
There's no earthly way of knowing.
It looks a little bit different every time. So, flashing lights and sound and a little bit of jostling and turbulence later, the van sort of lands with a thud and rolls forward a little bit, and you are in a different place. I'm gonna do this.
And that's actually why we stopped using Omicron particle waves, because it just really hates spleens in particular. Spleens. Who knew?
Do people other than humans even have spleens? I
You know,
thought
that's
the
an
other races had evolved past that by this point.
That actually is not part of my personal research, so I don't know.
Well, I suppose they just would. For whatever is best for everyone. But it looks like we have arrived, spleens intact.
And arrived you have as the van sort of rolls to a stop, and you hear raindrops hitting the roof. Outside through the windshield. Are there any other windows on the van, or just the front?
I mean, there's the, obviously the windshield and those main two ones.
Mhm.
I imagine they're like the ones on the back, but they've got like a mesh over them, so they're not super see-throughable.
Okay.
At like a back
Transparent.
door.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you're the. Excuse me. My allergies are just killing me. So through those windows, you can see the van is sort of parked on this very flat, manicured, large lawn of some kind, just outside the walls of a sprawling city. It's a little bit hard to see. It's dark. It is definitely nighttime. You can see through the clouds just a little bit here and there, a moon peeking through. And occasionally when the moon does make it out from behind the clouds, the moonlight glints off of these enormous, sort of lavish, intricate gold and silver buildings. This is probably the most lavish and fancy city any of you have ever seen. It is for a lot of you, I think, probably like something out of a storybook.
Wow.
Sean, you're muted.
We'll
Sean,
just
you're
continue
still
to go
muted.
Oops. Can I use my human move real quick?
Yeah.
Which is to, when you enter the place for the first time, you can tell your keeper one interesting fact your character would know about it. I don't think this is like going to be super interesting, but I thought this was funny. So I'd like to say that the this planet is actually where the concept of food trucks originated from. And because all of their food is served via food truck. It's a huge
Okay.
industry in Orcish society.
Orcs love food trucks.
How did you think that wouldn't be interesting, Sean?
Who doesn't love food trucks?
Yum.
Okay. Well, then I think you see one more thing as you sort of turn towards to look towards the gates of the city. The gates of these large, intricately carved, sort of gold-leafed, like metal gates, stand mostly open, swung in to the city. No one seems to be around them, but there is next to, kind of off of the gates, a cart of some sort that you see, no animal attached to it or anything like that. One of the wheels broken and it's kind of sitting crooked and a little bit abandoned. That on the side in painted words says Tal's Tacos.
Yes. Are there any people walking? We can't see any like people or anything.
It's nighttime.
Now, does taking rewards, does that include like buying, say, tacos? Could I like go buy a taco? I could really go for a
It
taco.
sounds like an exchange, so that doesn't sound like a reward. Unless they were giving you a free one.
Ooh. Looks pointedly at Agent Smith. So that's yes.
Did you not eat before we left?
No, I did. The gum was just for like an appetite suppressant, but tacos.
Let's focus.
So no on tacos.
Maybe later.
It's a soft no on tacos.
Maybe if we're here long enough.
Okay. Pops the piece of gum.
Well, it's a good sign that the city gates aren't shut. I think.
Still a little bit quiet for what's supposed to be a really large city.
Well, just the gates are open because everyone has left.
Everyone?
That's a good point.
Should
Are there any
stay-
guards? There should be at least somebody.
Only one way to find out.
I'll start driving the mom van in through the gates.
Right. So you take off slowly in the mom van down the cobblestone road that leads through this very large set of gates, past Tal's Tacos, and you see the taco cart clearly abandoned. One of the wheels broken and sort of sitting crooked. Probably no tacos today, at least not from Tal. As you pull in through the gates, it is unsettling how quiet it is in a city this large. There's no one on the street. There's no one walking around. No lights in windows. Nothing.
Can I try and look around for any obvious signs of neglect? Like how long people might not have been traversing this particular street, like maybe buildup of dirt, or if there's been rain in the past few days, like where it has sluiced and like not been tread upon, that sort of a thing.
Yeah, so it's raining a little bit right now. I don't really think you have to roll for this. It's by all accounts, at least where you are at, right by this gate. Um, everything seems to be okay. I mean, it doesn't look long abandoned. It looks like a city with no people in it, but it's a very, very large city. You have a very long way to go. So as you pull along the road, the sound of the van's engine very loud in the quiet. You pull farther into the city. There are a couple of different routes you can take. There is a road going up, sort of uphill towards a in the distance a very, very large, extravagant building that really looks more like a palace. There is also a road leading sort of in towards the city center, into what looks like it would be plazas and squares.
Probably find more at the main square of the city.
I was gonna say square.
If not, then we need to look for some authorities around here.
Yes, it should be simple enough to do a drive-by of the plaza and then head up towards higher ground and presumably higher authority.
Okay. All right, so you turn the van towards the plaza, and as you start to get farther into the city, and it takes you a few minutes to drive this way because it's very large, and I assume you're not just like Tokyo drifting through the streets. in
Not
the van.
company property.
So
you are no fun.
So you low and slow sort of roll the van through the city streets towards, and once you get farther into the city, things start to break down just a little bit. So there are some buildings with doors busted in. There are sort of planks from that, broken glass from windows sort of lying out on the sides of some of the streets. Some of the homes have the windows boarded up and things like that. And the farther you get into the city towards the main plaza, the worse things start to become. There are a few buildings that have the walls knocked out, a few that look like the roofs have caught fire, and you come upon a sign, a large sign, that is leading you in the direction that you're going, that has the words on it, the Lunar Plaza. And you hear some sounds coming from that direction. There is some yelling, there's some cheering, there's some chanting, and general revelry, it sounds like, coming from that direction.
Eureka?
More and more destroyed.
Seems like that we found the people around here.
Yeah, we also found a lot of bad stuff.
It's weird. Everybody in the city can't be in one place.
And the fact that the damage hasn't been fixed or even taken care of is odd.
Guess let's head towards the sounds and just keep an eye out.
Do we want to approach in the van or try and park it out of sight?
Let's park the van for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can find a good place to hide it or something.
And I just want to get a perspective on this. This town is like sort of medieval, it sounds like, from what you're describing, or is this like, are there like cars, or is this...
No cars. There was a cart.
Yeah.
Which could have theoretically been pulled by some sort of animal or something like that. No, this city, while massive and extravagant, does not seem to have the same level of technology.
Mhm.
that you all come in with and that you have back at home.
Yeah,
Despite
let's
really being very rich.
hide the truck for a bit.
All right. So we want to try to hide the van. So how would you like to accomplish this?
Does it not just have cloaking?
That might be a bit too much, given again that the van really comes from me being the mundane.
Yeah.
What I think we could try and do is find one of those buildings, houses where things have started to collapse, and look for maybe a place where there's just enough that we could.
A
It's the
stable?
Yeah, we could pull it in and then kind of cover it up with some stuff.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
we'll pull the van. I feel like I should have guys roll something. Not that. That doesn't make any sense. No. If you guys take the time to do it, I think you could just do it. So you take a little while, as you can kind of hear the raindrops kind of falling onto your faces and your hair and your suit, Agent Smith. You can kind of hear the noise that seems to be coming from the plaza kind of swelling. You take the time to kind of wedge the van slowly into a very damaged corner of a building that seems to be unoccupied, and kind of pulling up some of the debris from around it to mask where you have put it. Hopefully you'll remember where you left it. Alright, and so you make your way towards the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you've taken a while to do this. As you all sort of make your way through the dark and wet streets of the town, or of the city, really, it's much larger than a town. You can hear the sounds and the voices from the plaza sort of dying off a little bit. Some voices, some people talking, nothing intelligible, and then quiet.
How far are we from the plaza right now?
It's hard to say. You've never been here. Close enough that you can. I mean, that you can hear voices coming from it. So I imagine another minute or two of walking, and you'll be there.
Weird.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, not really. Sorry, Periwinkle, go on.
No, I was just saying, could keep walking and see.
Mhm.
Maybe there'll be somebody there still.
I mean, it could have been just like an event or something, and then it was over. And
Perfectly timed to our arrival.
Or maybe they're all going to sleep.
we've had worse luck. Better, worse.
That's for you to decide. All right, so you walk in, or you keep walking in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the four of you, your wet footsteps splashing on the cobblestones, make your way another minute or two down this road, and the destruction gets worse and worse until you make your way out into where the road opens up into this large plaza. You see a couple of things when you make it here. It is very nice, sort of worked stone plaza with this large in the center kind of crescent moon that has been worked in, carved into the stone, and all these flowing elaborate patterns. There are buildings surrounding this plaza that probably were once shops and things like that. You can see signs sort of hanging off in the one corner of the plaza. There is what looks to be a tavern that is still mostly intact. The sign is sort of hanging on its last little limb. It says what did I call it? I don't remember. Well, there it is. So the sign sort of printed on it says the Fennel and Fire Cabaret. It is sort of like hanging lopsided, and one of the corners of the building is sort of caved in. Around one part of the plaza, someone has set up barricades with sort of these long wooden spikes pointing inward in sort of this large circle shape, and sort of scattered around, a couple within the barricades and several around the outside, sort of piled up haphazardly, are about 20 dead orcs.
How long dead?
You want to go find out?
Sure do.
All right, I'm gonna have you all, since you're all probably about to do something, roll to investigate a mystery.
Oh,
All
yes.
right.
Eat.
Music to the investigating music.
Okay, that is very good for Lefla.
I only got an 8.
Okay,
I got a 12.
that's good.
Oh no, not again.
Level up.
Oh no, did you fail again?
Also level up. Got a 6.
Or
I don't like this music. That's too spooky.
do I use a luck? No, I don't use a luck. That'd be a terrible time to use it.
Okay, so Smith fails.
Oh yeah.
Periwinkle also fails.
Okay, Periwinkle also fails.
I got an 8, so mixed success, I
Got an
guess.
8.
What do you call it?
Yeah, mixed success is fine. And then a 12 for Lefla. Right, so Lefla succeeded enough for everyone, probably.
Thanks,
Uh,
Lefla.
Good
so
job, buddy.
you have the for investigate a mystery. On a miss, you reveal some information to the monster or whoever you're talking to. Good for me to know. On a 7 to 9, so that's Theo, hold 1. On a 10 plus, hold 2. And moving forward, this is our first big investigate roll. We'll keep doing those. You can hold those to ask any of the questions on that list. If there's any of those you want to ask now, you can do them now. Or if you want to spin that hold for something else to investigate something specific, you can also do that.
I think I will go ahead and use one to kind of do the obvious one, but this also might be kind of combining the two things of what happened here, but trying to figure out, was it maybe some kind of monster, or was this, these are victims of an angry mob, or what happened?
Okay. So you have several bodies that are sort of piled up off to one side of this circle that has essentially been set up in part of the plaza, and then a couple of them laying within the circle itself. Upon closer inspection, near the bodies that are in the circle, they're all orcs, but the two bodies that are in the circle do have weapons near them, sort of like crude wooden spears. And so this looks, if you had to make your best guess, almost like there was some sort of fight happening between the two of them.
Between the two with the spears?
Mhm.
Okay. And none of the bodies outside have weapons anymore.
No, but they're all sort of deliberately kind of piled in one corner.
Okay, and do they all appear to have the same, what I'm taking the leap and guessing, crude wooden spear wounds?
Some of them do. Some of them have other types of wounds as well.
And am I able to determine without spending hold, like how long these bodies have been dead?
The ones that are in the circle, the two that are in the circle, are still warm. They have several different kinds of wounds on them, including but not limited to some from those spears that they have. The ones in the pile, it varies at most probably a couple of days. Some of them are starting to smell.
Well, it would appear that there has been some sort of fighting going on.
Yeah, maybe that's what we heard. So, fighting to the death.
It's a strange way of dealing with the dead in a gladiatorial game. Not that I'm judging the culture of an unfamiliar to me world in any way. I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. Just questioning politely.
Well, if the bodies haven't been dead for long, perpetrator must be around here somewhere.
I would imagine that these are the perpetrators, pointing to the bodies. I suppose it might be too early to guess, but whether it's a victor gets to live or if they are kept fighting until they die. So maybe there was a third who killed these two and walked away.
There's gotta be someone around here to talk to. These can't be the only people left in the city.
And if it is some sort of spectator sport, then the audience had to have gone somewhere.
Exactly. Well, and maybe the four of us that were sent here by the secret organization Aegis, should go and look. The only four of us that are here right now, including our magic user, and I'm just gonna go into like divulging everything about it. I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
Doing?
I don't know
How they find out about us, yeah.
helping them find out about us.
Oh, that's all me, baby.
No, I'm just joking.
The only four of us who are here.
I do like literal Agent Smith.
Is there a way that I can just like look to see if I can find any evidence of where the audience went? Again, do I need to spend hold, or can I just be like, I see footprints?
For that, that would be spending one of your hold.
Then I will spend my hold for where did it go? And by it, I mean the people.
Sure, where did it go? Where did they go? So
Where go?
what do? So yeah, so you take a minute to look around. There are a couple of different ways it seems like people might have fled from this area. There are essentially two sort of main, like, large roads out of the plaza, being the one that you came in, and then one going straight, like, directly across, it just being really kind of a giant square. And then on the other two sides of the square, smaller roads kind of going back into what looks like more shops, and then eventually off into like a residential district. Around one of those smaller roads, the one that is close to the pit, there are some, not like Scooby-Doo style, like full-on like bloody footprints, but like some a sort of trail. There's a lot of blood around here, particularly around the arena, as it were, as we're dubbing it for right now. But there is definitely a sort of trail leading off that way, some sort of print or mark or something kind of indicating that somebody must have had blood on them, and then gone in that general direction. There's also some sort of a tattered cloth that's like caught on things, caught on debris and things like that, but you can kind of make out a general trail going that way. There is also an older sort of set of bloody footprints, as it were, going around the side towards cabaret, or the tavern that's calling itself a cabaret, in the far corner of the plaza.
I've got something. Looks like somebody wounded probably went this way not too long ago. Either wounded or a fan of fashion statement of wearing copious amounts of blood that they then leave around. There's that. Or a little bit older ago, not as recent as those, but before that, there are some other tracks going toward the tavern, which is older but closer.
We should track down these people then. Maybe we split up.
Don't love the sound of that, but you sound confident.
Yeah, well,
I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work out.
I can name a few. I'll start. Number 1, safety in numbers.
well, that'd be 2. You could do 2 and 2.
4 is a bigger number than 2, not to be rude or obvious. Just throwing it out there.
We need to find people soon, so if that person's wounded, why don't you and Treffy go and look for them? Or whatever their name is. I don't know why I just say Lefla.
Yeah, Trophy.
Oops. Why don't you and Lefla?
Strahd?
They're like the same character, so I'm just kidding.
Not.
Except Treffy's voice would literally kill me right now.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Treffy
Yeah, don't.
would kill Lefla on sight.
that is true.
Yeah.
You're kind of Treffy's natural enemy.
Oh,
okay, now
no.
I say, why don't the two of you look for the injured party that got away, and Periwinkle, you and I'll go find this other person. Maybe they're the culprit to all of this.
All right, Lefla, I'm with you. Prince, there. If you want to follow them, I will follow you. Following the prince. Yep.
Okay, so which team's going where?
Team Plant and Nervous are gonna follow the recent prince.
Okay, got it.
Uh-huh.
I had it backwards in my brain. Okay, so you split off 2 and 2. Who do I want to do first? Who wants to go first? Which group?
We can go first.
I can't decide which one will be more fun, so they're both going to be very fun. Okay, so we will follow as you split off Periwinkle and Agent Smith, making your way across the plaza, the Lunar Plaza, and towards the tavern.
Oh yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to pull up a note and it's not pulling up.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so you follow this trail. It is a little bit older. It's a little bit muddled, sort of blood smears and boot tracks mixed and kind of smeared with rainwater. These are probably from at least a day ago or so. How would you like to approach this building? You can tell that the trail is going into the Fennel and Fire Cabaret, around sort of the side of the building and possibly around the back into one of the back doors. There is also a front door of the place. How do the two of you approach?
Are there any like lights on or anything in the tavern? Like, does it look like it's inhabited at all? Can't tell.
It doesn't. The front windows at least look like they've been boarded up or blocked off from the inside. So you won't be able to see into them.
Is it a 1-story building, 2-story building?
It is a 2-story building.
Okay, any stairways or ladders or anything on the outside?
Not on the outside that you can see. This building is not up to fire code.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well,
Guess there's only one way in.
all right. Should I knock or do you want to?
I'll knock. just get my back in case someone may come out in a hurry.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my crystal for my spear, but not engage it yet.
Okay.
I go up to the door. Is it closed
The
or
front
open?
door?
Yeah.
The front door's closed.
Closed. Okay. I just push on it or jiggle the handle or whatever the mechanism for opening the door is to see if it's open.
It is
Have to
not.
do a song and dance.
Have to know the password.
No, the door does not budge.
Okay. You get open.
You kick it open.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Okay. I guess
I talked about knocking, sir.
Nope.
That's
Element of
probably-
surprise.
that's probably kick the door's ass. Roll to kick the door's ass.
Okay. Is that tough?
Yes.
I hope this door kicks your ass.
Thanks. I'm shooting the door if this doesn't work. Holy shit. 5.
Okay.
I was just kidding.
I really wish Theo was there to see this, but no.
I'm not gonna have you suffer harm or get captured because it's a door and the furniture did harm to you last time. So,
It did.
it did. But you go to kick the door. Periwinkle, you see Agent Smith kick the door as hard as he can, perfect form, and it sort of it budges just a little bit, kind of away from the frame, and then immediately comes into contact with something that is on the other side and doesn't open. Opens maybe this much. As if the door is blocked with something on the other side.
So grab my sciatic nerve for a minute. I was like,
Oh.
Is knocking now a code word for kicking down things that I should know about?
we're not going to talk about what just happened there.
Right. Did I notice any movement around when you kick the door? Any?
I think, yeah. Okay, so I think, Smith, you've kicked the door and it is clearly blocked, and your foot is not going to get you through there. Periwinkle, while you are watching this happen, I think out of the corner of your eye around the corner of the building that is in an alley that is farther away from the square, you see a little flash of movement, as if someone, as you have looked over, has hidden around the corner.
I think we might have company over there.
You approach them. I'm going to flank around the building in case they try to run.
Okay. No knocking.
Sure, no knocking.
Okay.
Oh, no knocking. I just go for kicking down doors now. Okay.
So I just go one street over and then try to head around the other side of the building. They might have.
Okay.
They ducked behind.
Yeah, on your own you can do that quickly enough. Little twinge.
Yeah. The whole time whew, whew, stretching and stuff as it happens.
Yeah, you'll
Everyone's-
recover.
Okay, and Periwinkle's gonna calmly walk over to where she saw the movement.
Okay, so you walk over to where you saw the movement. You go around the corner of the building and farther down the wall, sort of looking out a side door. You see an orcish woman with sort of long hair, wet from the rain, generally very stressed out looking, very, very nice, sort of fancy clothes with robes and belts and sashes and, the things that fancy people I don't know what fancy people wear, but this very sort of fancy, sort of noble-looking orcish woman, but very stressed-looking, sort
Okay.
of draggled, sort of looking out the door at you.
Good evening. I'm just gonna kind of like wave.
And she sort of motions to you. Come.
Okay. Periwinkle's gonna get closer.
Okay, so you move closer. Smith, you got about 30 more seconds. Your poor leg is slowing you down just
Enough. Okay.
a little bit. Walk it off, soldier. So you approach her, and she looks at you. How close do you get?
She's like in the doorway or like inside?
She's like standing in the doorway, so like she's poked her head out like into the rain.
Okay. Probably like a little further than like an arm's reach. So like
Okay.
a couple feet away.
Okay.
It's like, is everything
So-
all right?
You get close to her, and she is just sort of looking at you, very frightened, and you all of a sudden feel something slam into your back, as these very, very large orcish arms sort of grab around you and bring you right up next to her, so you are about this
Oh, great.
far away from her face. What do you do?
It's gonna like struggle against the
Okay.
arms that are grabbing me. I don't want to
There's
get grabbed.
something- I think there's something for that, probably. I
Uh,
don't know what it is.
maybe act under pressure. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
sounds good. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus cool.
Okay. I'm not good at this. 6. Yeah, more
So
experience.
you sort of struggle, but knowing orcs are generally a very large people, and this person kind of has you in a grip, and holds you right up to this woman's face. And as she looks at you and says, "Are you one of them?" Smith, you sort of come around the corner and see this happening.
Immediately draw my 9mm and point. Do I see somebody holding her from behind or something?
Yeah, so behind you see essentially what is Periwinkle sandwiched in between these two orcs, an orc woman and a very large orcish man, sort of holding her like this, like arms crossed in front of her, sort of like pinning her arms and knees down. Not like strangling her or anything, but sort of like kind of holding her like this.
Okay. Yeah, I draw my gun and aim down on him, and as I'm like, I slow my gait and sort of approaching until I get to about like 30 feet away, and I just say, "You drop it."
Is he with you?
He's with me, and you better let me go because you don't want to mess with him. And I don't know what you mean by if I'm with them, but maybe we can talk this out, and you could just let me go because he might just shoot you.
So the one holding Periwinkle is sort of looking at the woman in the doorway, and she kind of looks at Periwinkle and then to Smith. Smith, I'm gonna. No, you have a gun. They're probably very scared. I'm not too worried about it. She sort of looks from Periwinkle to you, back to the larger orc that is holding Periwinkle and says, "Put it down." And sort of looks towards you, Smith. You have to help us.
We're with Aegis. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes. Inside. They'll hear us.
Who's they?
You'll see.
Keep my gun drawn.
Okay.
And I don't let anyone get behind me. I keep the big guy in front of me.
Okay. So
Um,
they will allow this. They don't seem to have weapons or anything on them. If anything, this seems to be some sort of noblewoman and maybe her punchy bodyguard of some sort. But they will walk into the back door.
I approach up to Periwinkle before we enter. I say, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, they just surprised me. I hope the others are okay.
We need to do quick work here. Find out what's going on. Just sorry it took me so long. My hip. Jeez. All right, let's get inside.
All right, so you, the four of you, make it inside. The very large orc shutting the door and barring it, and then also shoving sort of a large kind of cabinet in front of it behind you, inevitably sort of trapping you in this building. And the woman that was asking you if you are one of them leads the two of you into one of the main rooms of the cabaret, which is mostly intact. There doesn't seem to be anything seriously wrong with it, aside from some things that are maybe turned over out of place. A lot of furniture has been pushed out to make room for some pallets and things on the floor where it looks like people may have been sleeping for the last couple of days. And all the doors and windows are barred up, barred shut, and sort of scattered across the room in small groups, families and friends and things like that, are a lot of orcs who look terrified and exhausted and sort of eyeing you with a little bit of suspicion. But this woman looks at you and says, "You're from Aegis."
Yes, I flash my badge.
"You were afraid no one was coming for us." "I'm Kyrian. Kyrian Orphine. I sit on the council of this city."
Where's the rest of the council? What happened here?
It's a very long story. And as she starts to tell you the story, I want to cut over to our other friends. And we cut to back out in the rain. Theo and Lefla following the fresh trail of blood and scattered debris and cloth and general revelry. That seems like it has made it this way. You do notice, kind of as you're going along, also some more kind of food trucks, food carts, as it were, that have been raided and broken and dumped over and relieved of all of their tacos and their falafel, and all the street meat is gone. And it's a sad sight, I think. Apparently, especially for Theo. And then also there's food wrappers and all that sort of stuff sort of scattered around. There's also a lot of broken bottles, empty wine bottles, liquor bottles, general blood and revelry passed this way.
I feel confident. Do you feel confident? I feel completely confident. You've totally saved my life before. Remember that? I remember that. I will never forget that. I just think that this is a great plan to split up, and I'm very confident in what comes next. There's quite a lot of debris here.
Yes, Thea, all we are doing is a little bit of reconnaissance. If we come across something, we will refrain from engaging. Report
I love
back
this.
to
See?
the others. See what we can find. See if we can't find, suppose, the most recent combatant. Maybe see if they need some help. Just getting the lay of the land.
Right. Just hang it back. Just hang it back. Love it. Great plan. I love this plan. So, It's quite a lot of blood, though.
Yes, I know orcs are big, but I do not think even a healthy specimen of their species would contain this much blood. I imagine it is multiple orcs.
Although, to be fair, I mean, that could just be one. I mean, you'd be surprised how much blood like can cover like an area. It looks like more than it is. I'm just, possibilities.
They would
Could
be
just be one.
they would be an exsanguinated husk at this point, and they would have been that about
Leffler,
blocks back.
please let me just be a little bit hopeful that it's just one.
All right, so as you're having this conversation out loud in the middle of the
I mean,
the
it's
bloody
in hushed tones.
how hushed is Theo right now?
Slightly hushed, but like when you're so worried that you're like slightly forgetting to be as quiet as you intend to be, that
That's what I
sort
was
of thing.
imagining. Mostly just for my imagination. Okay. So as you're having this conversation, I mean, obviously not sort of screaming at each other as you walk down the road or anything like that. I imagine every once in a while, Left was like,
Just one tendril goes up and just on Theo's
I'm
lip.
being quiet.
are you though?
No.
You were supposed to have more training at this. Oh, Agent Smithy's going to love hearing that I have
I'm very well
that
trained.
course.
You know what?
I'm sorry, I did not get that.
I'm just gonna be silent now. I'm gonna show you I'm very well trained.
All right. So Left pushing some buttons for sure as you two make your way down the street following this. The blood does sort of
Aliens
start to
from the
leave
savage
off
future.
after a while. It's
They
not
kill
just like
us
a river of
and
blood
take our
sort of
women
flowing down
and our precious metals.
the streets forever like a plague.
Get up, Mom. Do not be
But
near
it
the
starts to
king's
kind of
feet,
wear off. So
okay?
you get smears of blood here,
We're hiding.
here
Be quiet.
and there.
Right.
But as you make it to sort of the a crossroads on the street that you are on, from one side. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
You hear a very loud sneeze. It's gone. For now.
Do we
That's
hear a
the-
sneeze?
No.
Oh,
The
okay.
mystery is when the sneeze is gonna come back. So you hear from down sort of on your right
King's feet,
a
okay? We're
sound
hiding. Be quiet, everyone.
what sounds
including me.
sort of like maybe like a dog whining almost.
We're hiding.
A sort
Be
of
quiet,
like
everyone.
whimpering
me.
sound that isn't
Who's making that noise?
interspersed with like crying.
We're hiding.
So is this one of those times we need... I'm whispering, but Theo says, is this one of those times we need to go check it out? Or do we stay back? I feel like this is like one of those things where you think something needs help, but then maybe it... But then at the same time, I never watch movies where dogs die. I can't do it.
Well, this is probably something we should check out, but if you want to hang back, I can try and get a closer look. And I think Leffler is going to take the glasses that they're wearing off and just tuck them away inside, and now just going to go like full on ghillie suit of just like I'm just a bush, nothing to see here. I'm a bush.
Left sing their own theme music.
Divinity sneak.
Yeah, it's like in Divinity when it's just bush on top of a bush.
All right. So, Theo, what do you hide? Do you?
Oh,
stand in the
absolutely.
street?
I like almost cartoonishly just like dive for any sort of cover.
Okay.
Like as soon as given permission to be out of sight, we'll go be out of sight.
All right. So Theo dives and hides behind some debris, giving yourself a vantage point to where you can kind of track where Lefla is going. And as you both kind of turn to look, you see what looks to be a person sort of down a ways on the street, sort of hunched over, sort of holding their abdomen sort of very much in pain, probably where the sound is coming from. And Lefla, plant form, ghillie suit Lefla, you sort of inch your way down the street very, very slowly. And as you get close, the figure is sort of making this this like whimpering kind of whining sound. At times it sounds like a wounded animal, at times it sounds like a person crying, and it's kind of oscillating between the two. And after a moment, Lefla, how close do you get?
I mean, how far away do I have to be to just get the first visual on it?
You can, from where you were, you're essentially like the next cross street over, I guess. I don't know how cities work. You're about 50 feet away. And you can see, right, the figure that is sort of hunched over there, but it is dark. And a little bit of the moonlight is coming through, but it's kind of hard to make out any details. So the closer you get, the more detail you're going to be able to get.
Yep. Yeah, I think I
You
do.
walk up and pat him on the back?
No, not quite. But I do think I want to get closer to try to see, but sticking close to the wall of the building, trying to blend in as much as possible.
Okay, so very carefully, you kind of stick to the stone, which is kind of slick and wet and dark, and you're a plant and you got rained on, so it's all kind of the same in the dark. Kind of inching along the wall, and as you get closer and closer, you can make out this hunched over form of what looks to be an orc. We're all shocked, I know. But there, after a moment, you get about 20 feet or so away, and are kind of pressed up against the wall, watching to see what happens. The crying and the whimpering sort of dies down, and there's just this like very heavy breathing coming from this figure. They are like gasping for air and taking these large breaths. They're like moving their whole like shoulders and back, and then in one moment they stop. And Theo, watching this from down the road, you hear this, and then start to see some movement. This person sort of looks up and comes out of their fetal position on the ground and sort of looks up towards the sky. The moon comes down and hits their face, and they let out this very loud and their body starts to shift and grow, and their limbs start to stretch, and their head is sort of like cocked to the side, and the snout starts growing out of this face, and out of this orc grows this large, almost wolf-like, you could say, creature standing 10 or so feet tall up on hind legs, large sort of claws growing out of their fingers, and the howl stops, and you can hear and a sniff and a growl, and the head sort of cocks to one side, looking, as far as you can tell, Lefla, right at you. But I think we could go ahead and take a break
Yeah, okay,
right now.
great. I'm totally cool with that.
Good. I'll give you guys time to think about what you're gonna do, obviously.
I go take some antacids. Be back.
All right, so we will go ahead and take a quick break before the drama really ramps up. Thank you, everyone out there who has hung with us so far. I hope you're having as much fun as I am doing weird arm movements and howling into a microphone. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Bye. Put on the creepy music again. I think that's sufficiently creepy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of spooky.
Great.
All right, so when we left off just a few moments ago. Theo hiding in an alley behind some debris, and Lefla sort of pressed up against a building. And Theo, you can sort of see what's happening from where you are, not in any detail, but the silhouette of a large 10-foot tall wolf man is sort of hard to miss, as is the "Aroo!" that he lets out across the sky as he cocks his head towards where Lefla is standing and begins to advance.
I would like
on
to
you.
use magic.
Okay, what do you want to do with it?
I want to trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
That sounds very good for this situation.
Thank you.
Which one of them would you like to try to trap?
I would like to trap Lefla. Good luck. No, I'd like to trap
lets out a howl.
the werewolf, please, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Then roll plus weird to.
I would love to
use
roll plus
magic.
weird, and because I'm a magical practitioner, I get a +1 to use magic to trap things. Move I have, just so the audience knows.
Do we have the you guys' classes on the overlays? I don't actually.
Yes.
Remember. Okay, so everybody can see that you.
So I rolled a 9 +1 +2, so that's 12.
Okay, that's 12. The magic works without issue, and you can choose your effect. So by default, your magic has one of the effects listed below, which is to trap the wolf boy.
Mhm.
Lasts for about 30 minutes and does not expose you to danger, unwanted attention, or side
Sweet.
effect. It's very good when you do the magic good. It's when you do the magic bad that it goes very bad. What? Okay. What do the magic look like? Tell me.
Well, first of all, Theo kind of panics in his hiding space and like rolls up one of his sleeves and like pulls out some accoutrement from his fanny pack because he has a fanny pack. I'm gonna make this a game-wide thing that I do with
This
my characters.
component pouch is a fanny pack.
And he does some off-screen stoof, and then he it's like a sort of I was gonna say a purpley sort of a lightning, like the kind of lightning that you see in one of those balls, like this, like that sort of static electricity. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that, like touches the edge of the
When
ball.
you touch it, it goes to your finger.
Yeah, that kind of a weird
exactly what you're
discolored sort of
talking
lightning. Great, thanks. Vander something. Anyway, it looks like that he casts in the direction that just kind of arcs over there, and it's kind of like there's this one main branch that arcs out and touches other stuff that it's like, oh no, sure hope nothing bad happens, and then it doesn't.
Hey, for now.
But then it basically just makes this like ring of lightning that just kind of is like just over the ground around the werewolf that just kind of occasionally like zips like the ground, the stones or whatever, and just seems slightly anchored there. But anyway, that's what it looks like.
So encircling him, but not like
Not touching him, not harming him.
paralyzing him.
And that's just like the visual effect. You can't like step over the lightning ring. Yeah, that's what it looked like. So I choose
Or
another
can you?
effect? Or
Nope, just the one.
okay. I was like, that seems weird. Okay, great. I'm very happy with this effect.
Good. This is a great effect. All right. So, Lefla, from the end of the road, where you left Theo hiding, as this large creature sort of turns towards you and starts to advance, channeling down the street, and then forming this large glowing, sort of sparking here and there in places circle around the wolf man, which he then stops very suddenly, and does not pass through, and doesn't advance on you anymore, but sort of stands there sort of at the very edge, kind of getting closer to the lightning, and as that spark sort of backing away and staying, for all intents and purposes, from what you can see, trapped in a circle.
Okay, Lefla rolls up sleeve.
Yes, I am fine. Allons-y. Back to the van.
We're just gonna leave this here. We're just gonna leave just like this. We're just gonna leave him right here, hanging out. Little lightning circle.
There's not. I don't have any gear on me that can help with this. We need to go.
I mean, I guess it will last a little bit. It seemed to go pretty well. I'm actually pretty happy about this.
Yes,
Went
you
quite well.
did great, but let's
Good
start more
form.
walking.
Oh yes, of course.
And so the
Okay,
plan
so-
is to get back to the mom van so we can fire off a message to HSHQ, be like, help werewolves.
Okay. Do you go straight to the van?
Should we probably maybe tell our team? Possibly.
We have-
Not because I want Agent Smith to see this or
With the
anything.
nature of
just-
interdimensional travel of information and materials, we need to let Aegis know ASAP and then get back to the team.
Okay. We better
Okay.
run fast because it'll last, but not forever.
All right. So the two of you run, don't walk, back towards the van, and when you get there, in a few minutes, it's probably gonna take you 5 minutes to get back to the van. In those 5 minutes, let us return to Maverick and Goose, who are currently inside the heck, I named this thing and it's such a good name and I can't ever remember it. The
Fennel and
Fennel
Fire
Fire
Cabaret.
Thank you.
You just come out to werewolves. Really?
We thought it was as silly as you did. We thought it was people making up stories, but we saw the bodies. We're not doing this to ourselves, please. We're much more civilized people than that, Agent Smith.
Well, no, you mistake my tone. I just thought we had already dealt with this before. There was a thing a while back, about 30 years ago, big, I guess you could call it a health initiative to deal with the condition, and thought it was eradicated.
I remember that. I remember working on the posters for that.
Yeah. You get vaccinated, no more werewolf outbreaks. I guess it didn't make it here. Do you not vaccinate?
Oh, what is that?
Oh God.
Well, looks like we have some informational packets for you. As soon as we deal with this issue, we should probably find the others. There's werewolves running around.
We should. I'm sure they've already run into 3 already.
Listen, the situation is more complicated than just rabid wolfmen running through the city. They're organized.
Like, organized when they're wolves or when they're not wolves?
Some of them. Some of them are much smarter than any beast has any right to be. Some of them change back and forth. The arena, that sick circle they've built in our plaza, they built it. They're trying to make all of us like them. They're taking the strong of us and making us fight each other. The losers die, the winners turn. Or they die while they're turning.
That's a new one.
Yeah, I mean, that's weird. Are there the ones who have organized it? Are they normally leaders? Like, were they leaders before this happened? Were they just...
No. The ones who came through first, they're not from here, they're not us.
So there are some non-orc werewolves.
The first ones.
Have you seen them in their non-beast form? Human? Elven? Dwarven?
You all sort of look the same to us.
All right, fair enough.
They're small like you. Pale.
Okay, but probably don't have wings like I do.
No. They look much more like you, Smith.
By me. All right. Well, that's great. Well, Well, we'll deal with the infestation and hopefully get this cleaned up. Are there any other council members here?
No. It's just me
You're the last one.
that I know of. There were 12 of us, only 4 of us made it here. I don't know what happened to the others.
All right.
The other 4 that were here, or the other 3, pardon, that were here were taken. They haven't come back. We haven't found them.
Great. All right. So you're the leader of the city then?
Essentially, and as she goes to speak, you hear this loud, like, cough from one side of the cabaret. There's this other orc man who is dressed in a very fine, sort of crimson robes, who has been pointed out to you briefly before as being the owner of the cabaret, who has since helped turn it into this sort of fortress. And this loud, sort of irritated cough, and he sort of looks over and says, "Well, I didn't vote for you."
This is a democracy?
I'm sorry, do you think us a bunch of savages?
No, I'm just confused. Is this who is in charge here? If you
Well,
didn't
we
vote,
vote for council members.
all right. But they won. This you're a legitimate political official.
Well, she says so.
All right. Well, that doesn't. I'm not really here to get involved in your politics here.
Listen. We disagree on what the forward action should be. I'm Rolf, by the way. Rolf Genjin. I own this place. Yeah. The floor you're dripping on was very expensive.
Sorry. Well,
What is it you exactly want to do?
we're here to
Agent?
help.
To do what? Arm the people, push them forward, fight the beasts. What?
No, unless I have any. You have anyone with any training here to do that? No, I think the easiest way to take care of this is going to be to requisition the supplies we need, get some vaccinations here from Aegis, and
Told us what that is.
it's it's like, what do you take when you get sick? What's the level of tech here? I'm not really sure. Potions, I don't know, decoctions,
Tinctures.
tincture. All right.
We don't get sick much.
Okay. Well, it's you take it and keeps you from getting sick.
Wonderful. Well,
Because that's what this whole werewolf thing is. It's sort of a sickness.
well.
We can defend against it.
I think Kyrian sort of pipes up and says, "Well, from our point of view, it's an infestation. It's an
Right.
attack. We've never seen anything like this before. We don't really get sick here and there, seasonally. But some of them came here to make us this way.
We're gonna get to the bottom of that too.
You'll need to get rid of their queen.
There's a queen.
Well, there's one that says she's queen, parades around the city as such.
Is she one of
Huh.
the ones who came here?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was her and a few of her pack, her bodyguards. There were 10 or so that showed up in the city. And then people started disappearing, and people started dying, and people started turning.
Interesting. There is, and I didn't deal with the initial infection. I wasn't part of the unit yet at that point. There's sort of a rumor that, well, kill the cause and the rest revert. We can always give that a shot.
You're the experts.
I don't know if it's true or not. Probably need to. I can't believe I'm saying this. Ask Theo.
Is that one of you?
It is. He's a little more bookish.
Meaning.
He'll
Very
know
smart.
the right answer. Yeah.
Also, there's one more of us. Lefla. He kind of probably looks like a bush to you, but he's not a bush.
Fascinating. They're a wizard of some sort.
No, they really don't do anything. They drive the car.
You obviously haven't seen Lefla doing their work in
Well, it's
the
good you
medical
brought
bay.
your own- Well, it's good you brought your own cart at least.
Yes, our cart. Excuse me, I drop my T's sometimes. Anyway,
That's very quaint.
it is. We're going to need to get you out of here, though. If you're the de facto leader now, it's of the utmost importance that we keep you safe.
I can't leave my people here.
We're not leaving them. I just need to keep you within line of sight.
You want me to leave them? I won't. Some of them are here, some of them are taken away and captured, and my wife is one of them, so I'll be staying here.
All right. Okay, then. Crap. Periwinkle, you're gonna have to go back and find the others then.
Oh. Okay. I could try to do some magic to help defend this place before I leave.
That might be good if these wolf people are coming here looking for, I don't know, food, whatever it is they're needing. They'll probably be back before too long.
Yeah, how often do they do the whatever it is in that awful circle over there?
So far, every night. They take some, pit them against each other, kill and eat the losers, turn some of the winners, the one that survive, and then they go on the hunt again.
So they're
So
probably hunting right now. Okay.
And we're sort of hiding in plain sight. They haven't thought to look this close to their pit, but we don't know how much longer that's going to last.
well, I'm going to stay here and protect all of you.
With your stick,
Yes. I
are
pull
you
out
all
the
mages of some sort? It's very fascinating. Wolfmen and mages all in the same week.
It's a sort of mage, you could say. He'll keep you safe.
pull out my SMG and
Mage of death! Destruction. Okay. I would like to try to do some magic.
Okay, do some magic. What would you like to do?
I would like to bar a place to a specific person or type of creature.
Okay.
So I'd like to bar this place from werewolves.
All right. Roll plus weird.
That's weird. Oh, that was very good. That's a 14.
Okay.
Got
never
two
mind, I'm coming
sixes.
with you. This place is locked down.
You're so good. Okay, so you're going to ward the place against the werewolves. What does it look like?
So she probably takes like one of her, probably a few of the crystals, and sort of like goes to like each of the different points of the building, kind of like making like a square, and then pulls out her staff, her sort of spear, and then like touches the tip of it to like one of the crystals, which like glows, and like for a second, like kind of it like creates this line kind of around the edges of the room, this sort of like light laser sort of thing, connecting all of the crystals, and then it sort of like disappears.
The dry ice comes in and we start having a rave.
Yes.
Sticks. All right. So you incredibly successfully, almost the most successfully, set up this ward, and you can see these, all of these orc people that have been hiding in this place for a couple of days now, sort of watching you, but not out of fear, as you are very confident and maybe even a little bit of calming presence in what you're doing. And as they're all kind of watching the light show, and as the ward kind of sets itself in place and the lights dissipate, there is almost this sense of like relief, I think, that kind of spreads over the room, even maybe like out from the ward a little bit, that I think both of you kind of get the impression that it is safe and these people sort of feel safe for the first time in, to them, what has been a very long time.
I trust your magic will hold, but I still think that one of us should stay here with them. I can go back if you're okay staying here, but I don't know what you rather do right now. I don't want to send you off running through the city by yourself. All right, you have a gun with you? I like hold out the pistol. I'm like, I really wish you'd keep a firearm on you. I get the spear thing, but all right, that's fine. I'll whatever you want. All right. Well, do this for me when you get back to the van, and you can transmit back to Aegis, and I'm gonna write up. This is kind of, I don't know if this will work. I have a move when you deal with the agency requesting help or gear, and I'm sort of flavoring it that Periwinkle's gonna have to transmit it for me. Is the word I'm looking for. But I'm trying to use that move to put in a request. I'm writing up, like, I guess on my tablet, and sending Periwinkle a file, an encrypted file to send to Aegis, requesting, informing them of the werewolves, and requesting like immunizations to hopefully revert the changes for the population, which I don't know if exists. I sort of wrote that, just like made this up, and I don't know if that's actually part of the fiction here. Okay, making sure. But requesting some assistance in helping to get rid of the werewolves.
Okay. That's not a roll thing. That's just.
It is a roll thing, yeah.
It's a roll thing. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then roll the thing.
Okay. To roll
Sorry,
plus.
I don't know any of y'all's moves.
No, it's good. So yeah, if I'm requesting stuff, I got to roll plus sharp. All my rolls tonight have been shit. That is a 10 plus 1 is an 11 though, so that's pretty good. So on a 10 plus, you're good. Your request for gear or personnel is okayed, or your slip up goes unnoticed. But I'm requesting gear or personnel. So
Okay. So the only thing you want to request is the vaccines.
Yeah, I mean, a couple people to come here and help deal with whatever Aegis's like response would be for a like werewolf epidemic.
Okay.
Is sort of what I'm.
Okay. So like a
requesting.
medical response team.
Yeah. Get the CDC in here.
Okay. Well, you
And
you did it good. So
do I know if like silver's a thing here? Like, I don't know how much like D&D lore comes into like.
There are werewolves in more than D&D.
I know, but because I
telling
would
the
request
internet.
like silver ammunition or something if that was the case, but I don't know if I would know, and I don't know if that's a thing.
I think. Who has read the most stuff? Who's read the most files? It's Theo, right?
Probably.
Okay. Theo would know, and so I'm assuming to just expedite this process, you give the encrypted file over to Periwinkle. Not much of an issue from where you are, Periwinkle, to make it back. I see you're heading towards the van directly. So a lucky guess, because as Periwinkle makes it over to the van, you will find a Lefla and a Theo in the van, in the process of sending out a, I assume, hurried and a little bit panicked report to OMG werewolves, send help, please.
Fire! Exclamation mark. Fire!
So sending out
Help me! Exclamation mark.
a report. So the three of you, your powers combined, send out your reports, and within a very short time period, we'll hear back from Aegis, who has the capacity to send sort of small parcels of things, given very specific parameters. So they will send along some silvered bullets for anyone who has a gun. I'm not gonna say a number; you just have them now. And a few sets of manacles that are sort of silver plated as well, and we'll let you know that. And Theo, you would know this, and I'm assuming you will tell the rest of your team.
Absolutely.
Everyone pretty much knows the stories about werewolves. Your best bets for any sort of your basic werewolf, your minions, your brutes,
The ones that like pumpkin spice and milk chocolate.
yeah, the ones that wear Ugg boots. I don't actually mean that. Just want to say that.
Yeah, me neither. Pumpkin spice and milk chocolate are delicious.
But your best bet is going to be silver, and fire. So that is going to be your best bet for most of them. Aegis does not have a whole lot of experience with alphas, which I assume Smith has reported as existing. In here, you know that the only thing that's going to do any damage to any of them, or anything silver, anything fire, the smaller ones and the newly turned, and perhaps the ones that are a little bit more feral, it's pretty much accepted that being forced to be in contact with or wear anything silver for a period of time will interrupt the shape-shifting process. Thus the silver manacles, and can eventually sort of force any that are more feral, any that are like not necessarily in control of their transformation, anyone infected essentially, and not sort of these like alpha-like creatures, can force them out of that beast form and back into not wolf form. As for the sort of alphas and the ones that are not from here, you're kind of on your own.
So that is the situation. Sitch was short for situation. Just wanted to be super clear. Yeah. Huh? Yep. I'm super hip. Yeah, we totally caught one.
Well, I don't know if caught is the right word given. But now, as you were saying, that magic is probably a one-off.
It's only been like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
It's only been like 10 minutes. It should probably hold up for like about half an hour. So if we run and put the manacles on him, we should be good to go.
Well, it is certainly worth doing, as Lefla has been loading up their hunting rifle with silver bullets.
It's worth doing.
So we have
This is
two.
just a precaution.
Lefla has guns. Smith has guns.
I do not
Other
have a
two
gun.
Do not have guns.
I have a sword.
All right. So P90 rounds, SMG rounds, whatever a rifle uses. You got. You're good. I'm just trying to keep track of how many guns we have in play.
Also, Savvy, if it's cool with you, from my class it says I have an heirloom sword, and I would just like to not have that. Like it's not a scabbard on me. If that's cool with you,
It's not.
not like it's on me. But no, I don't carry it. It's something that yeah, basically.
Okay.
If that's cool.
You're.
But it's like something in a very obvious way to balance it out.
You're.
Okay, great.
That'll work.
Anyway, we should definitely get going. Yeah. Reaches into a drawer. Okay.
Is that an inhaler or liquid courage?
Inhaler. Hey. This way.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were following the tracks when we came across them.
We well and Theo's just like already out of breath. It's been 10 seconds. Stops. What? I mean, that stands to reason.
I believe we can give that a shot, yes.
I will pant, and not fall unconscious from lack of oxygen as quietly as possible.
All right. That's good.
So the three of you.
Head towards where Theo had caught that werewolf.
Okay. Smith, what are you doing?
I guess I'm just waiting to hear back from the team.
Well, do we have communication devices that would work on a different planet,
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
dimension?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's like interdimensional travel and silver bullets. So yeah.
Yep. So we
It seems
Send-
weird to say no.
send Smith a quick update. Aegis
Pagers.
alerted. We have silver stuffs. Gonna go catch us a doggo.
That's you get an email and that's what it says.
All right. I just reply back to it saying, all right. Have to stay here for right now. Come back once you're done. Bring the bullets.
Thumbs up emoji. But it's a green thumb.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the green.
All right. So yeah, you space text Agent Smith. Yeah, it's just texting. I don't know. You just text each other. That's fine.
I text him like the yellow caution triangle, but like 17 of them. Which is Theo's way of being like, be careful.
Smith, do you do anything else while you're waiting for them to return?
No, I'm just trying to follow my orders and keep
Doing a great job.
the leader safe.
All right. So Smith, following orders and keeping the people safe, protecting the orcs that are hiding out in this fortress of sorts. The three of you, other squad, make your way back through, pushing about the 17-minute mark. On the spell, it's 18 minutes if Theo keeps running like that. You make it back to this intact, crackling lightning circle on the ground with a very, very irritated humanoid wolf monster inside of it who sees you coming and sort of snarls and growls and sort of is pushing the edge of the circle, kind of getting like poked by the lightning a little bit.
That's him. No, that wasn't obvious. Sorry, that was a dumb thing to say.
Wow. It is rather larger than I expected.
Real nice guy.
Yes, well. Sorry.
Lefla.
Let us,
Are you winded too?
do seedlings breathe? They probably, yeah. Well, let us try and get the manacles on them, I suppose. I could try administering the sedative first.
Would probably be best.
I like that idea. Because is there any way through the barrier for?
Yes. We can probably get through. It's
Okay.
more of a trap. So I'm trapping that specific creature. Pretty much anyone else could get in.
Okay.
Good to know. All right, I will dig into my, medic kit that I have. Pull out some, I don't know, I guess morphine or something. I don't know, some kind of sedative. And I'm going to attempt to sedate the werewolf.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll
Oh,
to
boy.
act under pressure.
Yep. I'm trying to think if I could benefit from my what could go wrong move, but I don't think this is charging into immediate danger necessarily.
No, I think this is very calculatedly sliding into.
Yep. Okay, so act under pressure is cool. Well, that's a 7.
Okay. Worst outcome, hard choice, price to pay. Okay. So Lefla, as you get close to the creature, it is much larger than you. And as you go to inject it with this sedative, it is going to snap down at you with its big, scary wolfman teeth. You can hit it with the sedative. It is going to bite you if you don't pull away right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, yeah, I'm gonna take the chomp.
Okay, so Lefla, you go and manage to inject the sedative just as these big teeth sort of come down on your viney arm. You're gonna take 3 harm
Ouch.
from the chomp.
Ouch, you might say.
So you're getting 3 harm as this thing sort of chomps down on you aggressively and sort of growls and then pulls back and kind of goes.
Yes,
I hate salad.
But it hurt like hell.
Yes, I am not very meaty, and I think just immediately pulling back, taking one of the manacles and just kind of applying it as a tourniquet. I do not know if that was enough to transmit the lycanthropy to me, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are none of you vaccinated?
Would Aegis have given all the coursers?
Yeah, is it a standard vaccination?
That's a good.
What's the precedent you want to set for your organization here, Savannah?
I mean, how many vaccinations do you have to get a year? Is it like 40?
Well, it's all wrapped into a couple of like large ones.
Oh,
They're
ow!
probably like
You know,
they're
the
probably like take you out.
SLV-X4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're laid up for like a week as your body tries to not die.
As far as you all know, you are vaccinated.
Okay.
I am.
Did you get your booster?
I actually
Was a reason
Deploy your
enough-
titers.
actually keep my card with me at all times.
Yeah. So as far as you know, you are definitely all vaccinated against that kind of thing. Have any of you ever been in contact with a werewolf before?
Nope.
All right. Well,
I've read about them.
Probably not. We
I'm
other
saying that's-
beasties.
Saying that was before Smith's time as a field agent.
okay. We'll see.
Well,
But the sedative takes effect. Buffalo's got a few broken vines and crunched branches, but nothing unstable, I will say. It just hurt like hell. But after a few moments, the sedative starts to take effect, and you see the creature sort of drowsing down and eventually curling up on the ground.
Oh, it makes a cute little donut.
And it goes.
and then I slap some more manacles on its paws.
Okay. All right. So crossing the trap, putting the silver manacles on the sedated creature. Success, mostly.
You know, I feel like the sedative was to avoid that exact situation happening, but good job us, regardless.
Well, this way they will hopefully be more amenable to talking when they wake back up. Oh no, I'm already transforming.
No!
Oh no!
Done it.
Do you want any aid for your wounds? I could try something, but I don't necessarily want to. Not because I don't want to help you, but you know.
Yes, no, I think I will be okay. This is not as bad as disrupting that hag circle.
It looks pretty bad, though.
It's. I will be fine, thank you.
Okay, great. I'm relieved, but also concerned.
Well, we should probably get get them out of the middle of the street. I do not think we should take them back to. You said they were at the cabaret. That is probably. We do not know if this one was turned willingly or not, but we do not want to let them know. Hey, here's where all the people are.
That's a good idea.
Lefla, while he's sedated, do you want to, like, take a few blood samples, maybe a fur sample, things that I might be able to look at, in addition to what I've read about, so that we can know a bit more what we're dealing with? Maybe.
I suppose it could not hurt. But
Let's do that
let's get
not
them
out
off
in the
the
open.
street.
That is fair. I was gonna say that next.
Okay. I'm assuming that Periwinkle is maybe stronger than Theo, but I'm not sure.
I have a tough -1.
Oh, I also have a tough.
Lefla can beat you up.
Oh, well,
Maybe.
Lefla has a 0.
Between the three of
why
you.
are we so weak?
Well, you left your strongest member
He
Yeah.
chose
guarding
this.
the president. Between the three of you,
I mean, even with my tough, I do feel like Periwinkle's stronger than Theo. Absolutely.
emotionally, maybe.
That and physically. In every conceivable way, yes.
Ooh.
All right, so between the three of
Hold
you,
on.
you can take the wolf man somewhere, which is
Into one of the ruined, abandoned buildings.
Okay.
nearby.
Yeah.
no, not far, not very far. So you don't have very far to go. I will remind everyone it hasn't come up so far. The healing rules are in Roll20 for you guys, but this is your friendly reminder that first aid is something every hunter can do. It doesn't require a move. And that any moderate wounds between 1 and 3 harm, you can apply first aid to them once, and they'll heal 1 harm. It doesn't stabilize anything that is unstable, but everybody can do first aid. Any wound or condition can get first aid once.
Oh, good.
It'll reduce it by 1 harm. So you're all trained in basic first aid.
Okay, so
So
yeah.
I don't have to use magic to heal people.
You can,
Yes.
but you don't have to.
Probably shouldn't.
If
Shouldn't
you
risk
wanted to
it.
do first aid and then do magic, you could heal them more. But yeah, everyone can do basic first aid.
So yeah, I guess as we're waiting for them to revert, we can do some basic first aid.
I think you could probably also, in these sort of situations like moderate wounds, probably Lefla can do first aid on themselves
Yep.
at this point. But yeah, so you can, given a few minutes to do that, a much shorter amount of time because of your healing proficiencies, you can heal 1 harm from the crunch.
Yep.
While you wait, Smith. I just don't know if you're doing anything.
He's texting, "What's going on? This is taking so long. Where are my bullets? I want
The
to
bullets.
shoot something."
I think it shows Theo as typing for like a solid 5 minutes. Okay, maybe not 5 minutes, but like, and then Theo just sounds like this wall of text.
Oh, Jesus.
And it just like explains literally everything. Like, we were following the tracks, and then we found this thing, and then I trapped it, and then we had to run away. We went back to the van, we found the periwinkle, and we sent this message, and then now we're here. We got the guy, we put the thing on him. Leslie got hurt, but they're totally fine. And now we're back to this place. Like, gives us the basic coordinates of where the places that they're at, and is like, okay, and then we're gonna send you the bullets now.
So you spend the next few minutes reading Theo's text.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let you know when I'm done.
So the after a little while, the manacles will take effect. The transformation will revert, and before you is this very unconscious orcish man.
That worked brilliantly.
Yes, now it is time to maybe get some answers.
Should we?
He's still
see if-
sleeping though.
Yeah,
I
maybe
have
we should see
was
if
that?
Agent Smith can come. I mean, he was really set on being there, but
I do not. I have more of a way with words than a dear agent.
I didn't say it.
oh,
I'm
I
glad
didn't want
you-
him.
that
No,
someone
no,
did.
no, no. I didn't mean for him to interrogate because I think you're right on that one. I just thought in case something goes wrong, he seemed real excited about those bullets.
We can let him know. I mean, I assume in your message to him, you let him know where we are.
Oh yeah,
So
great detail.
if you send an SOS, he knows where to find us.
Did I send an SOS? Are you telling me to send an SOS?
But we do not need an SOS yet.
Are we telling him to come here? Oh, are we gonna go?
He
I'm
could
lost.
come if he wants to.
Yes, it sounded like he was very set on staying and protecting what remains of the city's governing body and the other survivors, which is very commendable of him.
So are you sending an SOS?
It's not an SOS, but it's a very long. Hey, so we know that you're doing something very commendable here. You like made this choice, and it's a very good tactical choice. Honestly, like from my perspective, like great choice. But also, we have this prisoner here, and based on the discussion that we've been having, it seems like it might be the best tactical choice overall if you join us here for the
Smith,
interrogation.
what is your text tone sound?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's
I'm thinking
probably,
about it.
yeah, I feel like it's something super boring.
But is it personalized for each sender?
Yeah, it's probably like
Just so you have a
it's
different
probably a series of little like beeps and rings, and probably most people it's just like beep, and then probably for like people that he somewhat enjoys talking to, it's like ding, and for people like Theo, it's
I was gonna say for people he doesn't like talking to.
All right, so you get this text from Theo, and as you're reading the message of what is happening, Smith, from where you are, you do start to hear noise in the streets outside. There is a little bit of commotion. There is loud running sort of sounds of like groups running through the streets. There is howling, there is laughing, and you can sort of hear these sounds coming in from outside. And I think Kyrian and Rolf, even in their hatred for one another, sort of look at each other and you see people sort of scrambling and starting to like hide and everything. And Kyrian just kind of looks at you and says, "Hunt is on."
is there any way for me to like peer outside through like a tiny hole in the board or something like that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think through the windows in the front that are boarded up, if you from the inside, you can sort of look through maybe a gap in the slats, and you can see out in the square, there looks to be a group sort of gathering around where this like makeshift arena is, and in the center of it is standing a human woman. You can't really see a whole lot of details from where you are, but looks to be sort of addressing this group of some humans, some orcs, some already very close to her, already transformed into this like large wolf-like form that seemed to be sentient and controlled, and maybe even like guarding her. Sort of, she's addressing this group. You hear this large, after a moment, this sort of howl from the group go up, and the woman herself kind of transforms into this larger than any of the other ones, wolf form, and lets out a howl of her own, and then the rest sort of start to transform themselves and kind of scatter off, running in packs off into the alleys and the streets of the city.
Ah, shit. All right. I'm going to need to go. Looks like things are getting bad out there, and my team is still on the streets somewhere. God knows what the...
Did you not read the text? You know exactly where we are.
I asked them to come back here, and it's like they aren't even listening to me.
We've survived these days without you and your
All right.
teammates.
There should be...
The magic. We can survive one more night.
All right. We'll be back in a minute. Is there another way for me to leave this building without going through the front?
There's a tunnel out the cellar.
Where does that go?
About 2 streets over. It's a very old sort of smuggler's tunnel. I don't know if you know the stories, but not important. It'll get you out and away from the square.
All right. I'll be back in an hour. I just like take a breath and sigh, and then I'm gonna have them lead me to the tunnel and start making my way back to the group. I'm gonna send a text as I'm going and saying the hunt is on. Watch your 6. And I'm gonna try to sneak through the city towards where I know they're at.
That feels like acting under pressure.
Sure. This feels important.
Maybe.
I'm gonna give myself a +3 to this roll.
How so?
Using my bottle it up. If you want, you can take +3 bonus when you act under pressure. For each +1 I use, the keeper holds 1, and you can spend it later to give me a -1 on any roll except for act under pressure, 1 for 1.
All right.
So this
So
will give me...
roll plus cool +3.
Oh, well, I probably didn't need it. So that's 9 + 5, 14.
Right. You're the coolest. Too cool for school. So silently, low and slow, Aiden Smith, you make your way. Guns drawn. Multiple
Yeah, I've got my
guns?
SMG out at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of
The
the
big
guns.
Making your way through the tunnel, popping out into the street. What color is your suit? Black, gray?
Black. No, I think we decided at one point
Gray?
it's like a gray. Yeah, it's like a
It
slate
blends
gray.
in very nicely with the surrounding sort of rainy nighttime-ness. So making your way quickly and quietly and unseen a couple of times, sort of pressing up against the wet wall behind you as a couple of beasts go sort of yipping and running past you, but unheard and unseen. You meet up with your team. It's amazing, and you didn't want to be seen, but honestly, you were so good, you almost wish someone had seen it.
But true to the
suddenly
name of the
appears.
move. Yeah, true to the name of the move. I bottle it up, no emotion, and I get there and I see what the 3 of them huddle around a wolf guy in chains.
And
Or
lets
And
you
none
in,
of
closes
hear him
door.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I think just I'm like behind all three of you suddenly in the rain. I just go. So what happened?
We're inside, right? Like, so he also
yeah.
silently came in a door and closed
Yeah.
it. Somehow muffled the sound of the rain outside, so we didn't even notice the door was open.
Mm-hmm.
I phased through the wall.
I think Theo almost falls over.
Well, we were just waiting for this transformation to revert, and then Leffler is currently digging through their bag and pulls out smelling salts, or the thing you break and shove under a person's nose.
Sure.
Toy
A glow stick
I'm just grabbing a couple of magazines.
left
I'm
over
just
from the rave,
grabbing a couple of magazines and reloading my weapons.
and
with
just
the silver bolt.
casually reading during the interrogation. I got it. Right.
Okay, so I just want to throw it out there, Savvy. When this interrogation starts, Theo's just kind of gonna be near-ish by the dude who was a werewolf, and I'm going to ask you whenever this becomes something you want to answer, what magic was done here? Specifically, how did he get sick when apparently orcs don't get sick that easily?
Okay.
That's just so you know, that's a free question I can ask back from Investigate a Mystery.
Yes.
'Kay.
I have got it. All right. So he slowly, under Lefla's watch, comes to consciousness, looking around, mostly confused.
It is alright. You are in a safe place for now. You were a danger to yourself and others, but we have amended that situation.
He doesn't say anything.
Would you mind telling me your name? I would like to know with whom I am speaking.
I'm no one. And I know you're not here to get to know me and my life, so what do you want?
You look
Just
like
asking, is he an orc?
Yes.
Okay, just make sure.
Well, we want to know what has happened, who these people are that have come into your city and attacked you, taken over. We want to help you get things back to the way they were.
Good luck.
Well, I don't know what you remember from your time as as a wolfman, but we are quite capable individuals ourselves. I think you'll find us more than a match for what is happening here.
I remember enough. Remember my time as a prisoner. I remember the fight. I remember winning. I remember being bitten. And I remember waking up here, and that's enough for me.
Do you remember where Ziafa stays?
She holds up in the palace. What used to be the palace, where the council meets, up on the hill.
And has she mentioned anything about what her goal here is, other than general carnage and spreading her condition?
She has one piece of wisdom for everyone she turns. The lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Do you like being part of this pack?
I liked being a butcher.
Well, with any luck, we will be able to get you back to butchery within, maybe even before the sun rises.
We're here
I
to
hope
help.
you all know what you're doing. Because if you lose, that's it for us.
So can you control yourself when you're in that other state?
It's only happened once.
Oh, well. I bet that it was new and different, and I'm sorry.
As long as you keep those on, indicating the manacles, you won't be able to transform. You will retain your faculties, it would probably be best if you stay here. It sounds like the others are out and about now.
Um. Her name is Letitia. And every one of the pack members that came through with her will die for her.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that.
Seems pretty extreme.
The pack survives. I don't know who you are, but I hope you know what you're doing.
We are experts at what we do.
Hi. Also an expert. Do you mind where were you bitten?
He sort of turns his back towards you, and there's this large kind of bite mark across the shoulder area.
I'd like to give it a good look-see. Maybe like see if I can pick up any magical vibes, etc.
Okay. Yeah, it is a very fresh looking wound that by all accounts should be bleeding and is not. So that's weird.
Okay.
And probably a relatively magical.
Okay. So is this all that I can get in this situation with what magic was done here from Investigate Mystery?
I think it becomes very clear that there are, knowing what you already know about werewolves and kind of the disease and the history of like vaccinations and everything, that there is something going on with the way that this was transmitted to this person that is not just that. It is not your standard disease, and there is something more magical about it.
Okay.
Probably the question being what magic is done here, probably being able to put together that this bite came from the alpha.
Which is inherently magical, or they're applying some sort of additional...
Yeah, so
magical effect?
I think the connection that can be made is that if the bite comes from the alpha, there is some sort of like inherent magic about that and how that is transmitted and how those transformations happen. That is not just a disease.
Got it.
More like the origin or the source point.
Okay. So I'll just look it over, then look back at my team and just kind of nod, shrug, and assume that communication is good enough.
Well, Mr. Nobody, you will still be a little woozy from this sedative. I apologize for that, but as I said, you should probably remain here. We are going to go handle this situation.
Yeah, I'm not really planning on giving him a choice whether he stays here or not.
Yes. Meet Mr. Bad Cop.
So he's got both manacles on around his wrists.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we should just we should probably tie him or chain him to something.
Or we could just ask.
No offense, but I'm drugged to hell, and I don't think I could walk if I tried.
Not that you probably want to, really. I mean, if you can't transform and they want you to be with the pack and you don't want to be with the pack, probably best option is stay out of sight. I feel like we have a connection here, Mr. No-Name friend. I think I understand him. I think he'll stay. You'll just stay, won't you? We don't need to tie you up, right? Yeah.
Is there something in the room that he could be manacled to?
Zip tied.
Yeah. There's a large, heavy, broken desk in the corner that was smashed in by something, but still very heavy.
Sure, it's better than nothing. I undo one of the manacles on his wrists and connect and attach it around
So
the
he's
leg.
got one hand free and one hand.
Yeah, essentially.
You know that's a bad way to do this, right? Because if I found something to pick the lock, I've got a free hand now.
Are you
All
sure
right,
you
I
were
take
only
the
a
one off
butcher?
the desk and I loop the thing through it, and so his hands are now, the chain goes underneath the. I don't know if the desk is connected to the floor or what.
Yeah, I was like bolted down.
Okay.
It's somebody very important. That was their desk.
Yeah, we're also on a boat, and the I loop one of the manacles underneath, and then I clasp the other one back on his wrist and say, "Happy? Normally, I would just put a bullet in your head, but I'm not because the others.
He's
Oh,
totally on our side.
Because I'm having a very good day today, and
Thought
I'm
we had an
about to go.
understanding, Agent Bad Cop.
Yes. Well, you're lucky you caught me on a good day because I'm about to go shoot some werewolves." And I cock the gun pointedly and head towards the door.
I'm so glad my death isn't on your conscience. None of us asked for this.
We know, and we are sorry for it, and we are doing what we can to help.
Well, don't let me starve to death in here, I suppose. Good luck.
Theo takes the gum out of his pocket and gives him the pack of gum.
You'll survive now. Oh gosh.
What is this?
I use it for appetite suppressant.
Don't leave anything behind.
I just wanted you to see it, think about, pretend that you're chewing gum. I'm gonna put it back in my pocket. I'm so sorry. That was really.
A big old palm frond looking leaf comes out, and it is a fake palm.
That was accidentally really rude.
Can all of you please just fuck off and kill the beast so I can get back to my life and not die?
No promises.
Do your best.
All
I'm
right.
gonna take a nap. Come get me when it's over.
Mm-hmm.
As we get
Still a
outside,
little woozy.
Yeah.
as we get outside, I just kind of stop for a second and kind of. I kind of like that guy. It's gonna be a shame if I have to kill him.
Let
Yeah,
us hope it does
would
not
be.
come to that. But, so, how do we want to go about this? My first thought, and I am well aware this is a terrible idea, we get back to the mom van, we drive it around, making a big old ruckus. We try and draw out the alpha and shoot them. But we are probably better off sneaking up to the palace. Yes.
That probably sounds like the better idea. Or I doubt the alpha is gonna come out if we start making a noise.
Or at least, not be one of the dogs chasing the car.
I mean, that car's our way out, so I'd really rather nothing happen to it.
Yeah,
I mean-
we should keep it hidden.
Can we get out without the car? Can we teleport just as?
The
I know.
traveling interdimensionally
Yes.
has no bearing on the car, but you brought the car with you, so
Hmm.
you can leave without it.
My thought was we could rev the car's engine and crank up the radio, and then use it as a distraction while we head towards the palace. But we can't really leave it behind, so.
Also, company property. I'm just saying.
We've literally been told not to leave anything behind, so.
Yes, which I'm so glad you all remembered. That was a close one back there. You all passed.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So shall we start making our way towards the palace?
Well, we could go to the palace, or they might just come here to the circle. I mean,
do-
Theo, you did say that the alpha has to bite the person, right?
That is what I said.
They do come here every night.
maybe we could wait for them to show up and then.
Like, hey, I heard there were fights here. I love fighting.
What if we challenge the alpha?
Yes, you could totally do that. And I will support you in that.
I generally abhor violence, but I could take up a sniping position on a nearby roof with my rifle.
And I will support you in that.
I was thinking we just wait till tomorrow when they're about to execute another prisoner and ambush the Alpha then.
Well, if they are hunting tonight, they might be bringing people back to the circle tonight.
Yeah,
We don't
but
actually know what their schedule is.
I mean, maybe we get them before they. I mean, they're gonna bring people here and make them fight and stuff. I don't want to watch that. I'm just
Well,
like,
we interrupt the fight, but we know this is a place where the Alpha will be.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like there's really going to be no chance of getting the Alpha alone at any point. So,
Well, they said they stay in the palace.
yeah, but probably not alone. Like, I'm going to leave my dozens of bodyguards and go sleep alone in this completely defenseless, multiple windowed room.
But my assumption is there will be more wolves during the fight tomorrow.
good point.
We could try the palace now. If it's a bust, we have the arena as a fallback.
I think infiltrating the palace, waiting for the Alpha and their few elite bodyguards to show up, and taking them down quickly and quietly. It's our best bet of all getting out of here alive.
Sidebar, the palace also might have information on how they got here in the first place.
Also true.
Or anything about why they chose here, if they did choose it in particular.
Okay. Well, then let's quietly go to the palace then.
How long does that barrier last, Periwinkle?
Forever? I don't know. I can't remember how they use magic.
Forever!
Normally would last about half an hour, but you rolled really, really good.
So good.
So I'm gonna say a while.
A while?
Until morning, I think, if you were gonna make an estimate.
Probably until morning.
All right. Well, let's take care of this before then.
Right.
Leans over. That was grammatically correct.
Sounds funny though.
Hey. And so the four of you preparing to set your plan in motion head off once again, wearing their sunglasses at night, down the cobblestone roads of Lunaterra, and this monster of the week is going to turn into a monster of 2 weeks.
Monster
we're
of the
gonna
month.
go ahead and the monster of the month edition of monster of the week. We're going to go ahead and end our session there, and we will pick up 2 weeks from today, 8 p.m. Eastern time, on whatever Thursday that happens to be.
The 6th.
The 6th, with a plan to take down Letitia, the Wolf Queen. Sure, that sounds cool. And her pack. Very good, everybody.
Yay!
Yay! Good teamwork!
Well, I hope you all had a very good time, because I obviously had a very good time because I just got to sit here and howl for like 3 hours.
It was a little hard to understand the narration sometimes in the midst of the howling, but
I'm working on it.
Oh woo!
It is a sort of postmodern interpretation of the game.
I did get like a new age poetry vibe.
Yeah, so I think it's coming into focus, and I think by the end of this Monster of the Month run, we'll really have something we can work on. So I want you all to practice your lines.
I'll workshop my.
Talking just a little bit, kind of workshop it going through, and we'll meet up again in 2 weeks.
Excellent.
Okay. I can only do this bit for so long. Thank you, everybody, for playing with me. Thank you, everybody, for watching along with us. I hope you had as much fun as I did, because I am loving every second of this. So we will be back at 2 weeks from today on Thursday, the 6th, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for the resolution to All Myths Are True except werewolves. In between now and then, we have a game on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time this week. It's a time shift for us, so don't miss it. Don't be late. Don't be too early, I guess, because we usually start early. But Saturday nights, we are returning to Sarthia at 5 p.m. on Saturday for more D&D. And then on Sunday, I'm running a game on Encounter Roleplay on Twitch called Apocalypse Win. It is an Apocalypse World game where there is time travel and weirdness, and I just feel like everyone's come to expect this from me at this point. So tune in for that as well. We'll also be hosting it here on GGK if you want your own little private GGK chat room. Those are very fun. And then on Monday, boy, do I have a lot of stuff to do this weekend. On Monday, we are having our first installment of Motley Mondays, or Morgan is going to be running us through a D&D dungeon. It's going to be very, very fun. I already love the characters we made, and you're going to love them too. So that is also at 8 p.m. on Monday. So 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and then me at 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and then Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then a lot of stuff in between. Am I missing anything? I feel like I said so much.
That's
You did great.
We may shift the start time Monday because it's Memorial Day, and so
Yes.
a lot
Oh
of us-
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so on Monday, we are planning for the most part to schedule those at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Memorial Day, and all of our schedules are shifty because of the holidays, so we might be able to start earlier and or go later. We'll see what happens. So we will tweet about it. We will post in Discord about it. So just keep an eye out for that, but we'll definitely let you know when that game is going to start. I have nothing more to say, so long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Ah, woo!